I wish it were all mine.
Well, finally, someone with aspirations as modest as my own.
Your aspirations all seem to become reality, though, don't they? And you want something, you just step out and put your name on it, whether it's Bar Towers, Bar Plaza, Bar Airlines. Can Santa Bar be far behind?
Santa Bar. No, it sounds a little too much like I'm being canonized.
We both know you're no saint.
Well, I knew there was something about you that made us hit it off so well.
Mr. Bar Suite, it's the restaurant, the Orient Express. They want to know if they should continue holding your table.
It'll just be a few more minutes.
If you'd be so kind, his party will be down shortly.
Great. I'm starving.
Well, good. A few more minutes will just activate that hunger a little more.
Is there anything we're waiting for in particular?
Excuse me?
Oh, watch my mouth. If it isn't the Capwell kids, I didn't know you all knew Robert.
Only by reputation.
Actually, we'd like to get to know him a little bit better, but we're going to need some privacy. So if you don't mind, Gina.
You want to talk to me alone?
We insist on it.
I'm afraid this is a bad time. We were just on our way off to dinner. Right here in your fine hotel, as a matter of fact.
Well, I assure you they will keep your reservation.
Oh, well, we've kept them waiting long enough as it is.
This is important, Mr. Barr.
Well, so's my dinner. This is my right hand, Ms. Renfield. She's very familiar with my itinerary. Next time something very important comes up, I'm sure she'd be happy to schedule you an appointment. Shall we?
Okay. Would you care to set something up for the day after tomorrow? I could sandwich you in between 11 and 11:30 if you like. No, I don't like. What about you, Mason? Do you like?
Oh, heavens, no. Especially the part about being sandwiched in. It makes me feel rather like stale liverwurst. I think we'll make our own appointment. Thank you.
How did you do that? I think we may be the only two living witnesses.
To what?
Mason at a loss for words. I've never seen him quite like that. No, it was too good to last. What are you two, deaf? We're on our way to dinner. We don't have time for this.
We'd just like to ask your busy escort a couple of questions. Why are you in Santa Barbara, Mr. Barr?
Well, I've heard so much about the Capwell Hotel, I just had to try it myself.
I'm sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing. Did you say try it or buy it?
You know, this happens to me all the time. If I go into a grocery store, the rumor circulates that I'm taking over the whole chain. If I fill my car up with gas, then I read in the papers that I'm acquiring Exxon.
So you have no such designs on our hotels?
I have hotels of my own, Mrs. Castillo. If I were looking for new interests, I'm not saying I am. I'd certainly set my sights higher than that.
What do you suppose that means?
I think what it means is that he realizes the hotels are only a fraction of Capitol Enterprises and he wants it all. The whole enchilada.
Well, maybe we'll just have to remind him what a famous sage once said.
You and your Shakespeare.
No, Jagger. You can't always get what you want. Shall we?
I don't know why they were bothering you about keeping the table waiting. It's very quiet here tonight.
Well, we can go someplace more lively if you'd like.
No, the food's fantastic here. Best in town. Oh, and I like seeing Eden and Mason squirm even better.
2 questions, wasn't that the bargain?
Yes, but you didn't answer either of them. Surely you don't expect us to believe that you came to Santa Barbara for the sole purpose of enjoying our fine hotel.
As you were so quick to point out, you do have hotels of your own.
And I've also got a very nice table waiting right here. Excuse me, I've kept my lovely companion hanging on here long enough.
Well, I certainly hope they're not going to come sit on our laps. You really have them hopping.
Now, first rule of the deal, always make the opposition come to you.
I'm getting a little tired of playing tag, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we should go back to the office and dig up all the information we can on Mr. Barr. Or we can stop by the local aquarium.
Aquarium?
Study tactics of the common shark.
Just one small gesture first.
Well, if it's very rude, it can be executed with one hand. It goes double for me.
Oh, no, not that kind of gesture. I was thinking of something a little more elegant. I mean, after all, he is an honored guest in our hotel. I thought I'd send him this in our finest silver wine bucket.
Mason, it's vinegar.
Why, Eden, so it is. Luckily, the library's open late tonight. I want you to call them, have them send over everything they've got on Robert Barr.
How far back do you want me to go?
10 years. Newspapers, periodicals, anything, even if he's only mentioned in passing.
Okay, I'll check.
Are we locking the barn door after the horses bolted?
I don't think so. He hasn't made his big move yet.
Why is he waiting?
Well, you don't have to read a cover story to realize the man's flair for flamboyance. I think he just likes to prolong the game.
Either that, or he's being particularly cautious because he's tried this and he's failed.
With Capwell Enterprises?
Daddy would know.
Eden, we're keeping Daddy out of this.
What? If there's a history between the two of them, I'm sure he would know.
If you even mention the name Robert Barr, he's going to know something's up. We can't risk it.
You know, you really underestimate me. You don't think I can get information from Daddy without telling him that Barr is plotting a takeover? You act like I'm itching to give him another heart attack.
Eden, that's ridiculous. I just don't want to bring Daddy.
I'm sorry. I called the library. Yes, Lisa?
And all the info on Mr. Barr has already been checked out by a Gina Timmons.
Well, I guess that settles that, doesn't it, Mason? I will give your love to Daddy.
I'm sorry I struck out at the library. Is there anything else that you'd like me to do for you?
Yeah, call the Orient Express. Order something expensive to go. We're going to be here all night. We might as well make the most of it.
You're right, this food is good.
The wine should be too. Cynthia just brought it.
No wine steward here to open the bottle for us? It's kind of sloppy.
Of course, that wouldn't happen in your hotel. What's wrong?
Somebody's idea of a joke, I think.
There's a note. It says, just to settle the score, remember you must take the bitter with the sweet. MLC.
Mason Capwell. Ha! Well, score one for the home team.
That amuses you? We come this close to choking on vinegar and you think it's funny?
Well, life is supposed to be fun, Gina. That's why I'm here with you.
Well, thank you.
You know, people ask me why I became such a successful businessman, and sometimes I think it's because I know how to let it go. I know how to leave it behind.
I believe in an even balance of work and pleasure. Just, most people don't know how to have fun.
Oh, I'm not one of those people.
Mr. Capwell's order will be ready in just a moment. Can I get you something while you wait? A drink? Perhaps a glass of wine?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Daddy? Hi.
Hello, sweetheart.
Megan? I guess I should have called first.
Don't be silly, darling. This is your house.
Yeah, well, the party broke up sort of suddenly, and I didn't get a chance to say goodnight.
Well, I'm sure you both have more to say to each other than just good night. So, see you in the morning.
Good night, Mike.
Good night. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rush off.
Don't be silly.
Leave.
No, honey, she's so worried about that you're in shock about Greg, and she just want to talk in front of you.
No, please. Greg is the least of my worries.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just sort of overwhelmed, coming back from vacation, all the messages on your answering machine, and went back to the office to pick up my mail, and I realized you can't stay on vacation forever. You do have work to do.
That's for sure. Boy, that sucker's hefty, isn't it?
Yeah,
We got to get Kelly back to help you.
I will.
What is it?
Oh, it's just probably one of those periodicals. My secretary always subscribes me if there's emergencies to look at it.
Why the hell would anyone put his picture on anything?
What?
Man,
Robert Barr?
he's a vandal. He takes over companies and he puts thousands of people out of work, and then he sells the companies to get his contaminated profit. I don't like the man. I don't like the man at all.
Have you done business with Barr, Daddy?
Huh? What?
Well, Daddy, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. There's just some things I don't like to be reminded of, that's all.
My. That was even more enlightening than I thought.
What'd he say?
Hi. I am sorry this took so long, but the chef went all out when he heard who was ordering. Julia, I didn't know you were going to be here. I hope there's enough food.
Don't worry about it. I already had dinner with Samantha.
Yeah, and she was planning a nice, quiet evening at home until I sent out the SOS. Thank you, darling.
You're welcome, dear. Mason thought that he remembered having some correspondence with some guy that worked with Robert Barr. He couldn't remember the man's name, so I just went through his desk at home and brought in a drawer full of mail.
Did you find the guy?
Yeah, Hank Bradley. And one of the things he told me about Barr is that he apparently has more women working for him than men.
Interesting. He's not married, is he?
No, but there are any number of hopefuls lined up to be wife number 3. Let me put it this way. His little black book is not little. It's more like the Manhattan phone directory.
Wipe that envious smirk off your face.
No, it's not envy. I'm just wondering how he keeps them all happy. Apparently, according to Hank, Barr is the sort of man whose ex-wives and mistresses still call him on the phone, and he thinks nothing of occasionally putting them to work in the organization without a single doubt as to their loyalty.
So you think he's added Gina to his stable?
Certainly looks that way. Maybe I'll pay a little visit to Gina and ask a few discreet questions.
Mason, what about your food?
Save it for me. I'll nuke it when I get back.
Men. Can't live with them, can't kill them.
Excuse me.
I had the best time tonight I've had in ages.
So did I.
Can I get you anything?
No.
Would you like to dance? I could put on some music.
Not tonight.
There's a lot of different ways to get to know someone. And I really would like to get to know you better. But I don't want to get to know you too quickly. I think people should become friends before they become more than friends. And as much as I'm tempted, I think it'd be nicer if we didn't rush into things.
You know, I couldn't agree more.
You couldn't?
Mm-hmm. I'll call you.
May I have the envelope, please? And the winner is Gina, Blake, DeMott, Capwell, Timmons, Capwell. Give or take an annulment.
Very funny, Mason. What's the category?
Best impersonation of a virgin.
Well?
Spiffy. For a style that died out before you were born. Well, not that I'm old enough to remember smoking jackets either.
I meant the lady. What do you think?
Pretty.
Damned with faint praise.
And smart. In a basic sort of hand-to-mouth way. It'd be nice if she had a little class.
Well, you can't have everything.
How dare you come in here to spy on me?
I'm not spying, Gina. I'm here to protect you.
Like hell you are.
Barr's ruthlessness has been well documented, Gina. He eats kippers like you for breakfast.
Well, he didn't get to stay for breakfast, did he? It's because I know how to behave with men like him. You know, they're so used to getting what they want that when you don't come across with it right off the bat, they hardly know what to do with themselves. Before you know it, the tables are turned, and the king of the jungle's eating right out of your hand.
Well, a woman's mouth is her worst enemy and our best friend. What do you want to bet that Mason Capwell isn't on her doorstep right now, pumping information from her?
What does she know?
Well, only what I want her to leak to the Capwells.
Why should I tell you anything when you break into my house?
I didn't break in, Gina. I still have a key from the old days.
The bad old days. I still can't get the smell of booze out of my upholstery.
One question, and then I'll go. Why is Robert Barr in Santa Barbara?
You know why. You and Eden are both scared. Well, you should be. Because when Robert Barr wants a takeover, Robert Barr gets a takeover. Even if that means taking over Sacred Capwell Enterprises.
Mason Capwell, I presume.
Are you alone, or is she just sleeping off all that expensive champagne?
What are you talking about? You know Renfield never drinks.
I am not amused, Robert. And weren't you just a little embarrassed to be seen with a woman who is so pathetically sex-starved that the entire restaurant was staring?
Well, at least one person was staring. Would you follow us there?
I was off on an errand for Mason. But when I saw you and Gina together, I just wanted to throw up.
Lisa, I can't discuss this now, please.
Yeah, well, I'm not leaving.
You wouldn't want Mason to find you up here with me, would you?
Mason?
Yeah, he's probably on his way up in the elevator right now.
Oh, you are lying.
Look, I don't think you want to take a chance on this. Because if I'm telling the truth, you're going to have a hell of a amount of explaining to do. Great.
Oh, please.
Go in the other room, all right? For God's sake, keep your mouth shut.
I just thought you'd like to know I got the answer to my sister's question. Not that there was all that much doubt in our minds to begin with, but it's nice to have confirmation.
Of what?
You're after Capwell Enterprises, Barr. Don't try to deny it.
Who the hell have you been talking to?
Your date.
Damn. Why did I think I could trust a woman like that?
Don't kid a kidder, Barr. You used her to get me over here. You simply told her what you wanted me to know. Last rule of the game. Anticipate the obvious.